Hi everybody, welcome to another reading. I've got a Treble Cross Nadi spread for you here. So we've got the Divine Masculine on this side, the Divine Feminine on this side, and then the Union energies right here in the middle. Before I start though, I've just got a couple of housekeeping messages. So that they're really important. They're going to take a couple of minutes. And then I'll do the reading after that. So thank you for your patience in advance. So first up, I just want to say that I've had some amazing sessions and readings since the last time I was on YouTube. You know, and the vast majority of you guys on this channel, you know, it's just my blessing and my privilege to have you guys here. You know, not just my beloved clients, but also, you know, you guys who comment, who subscribe, who like my videos, you know, everyone who emails me. You guys are just wow, you know. Your energy is amazing. Your auras are like great. And honestly, I feel like they're getting clearer. So that's a really, really good sign. And, you know, you're all just so full of love. So I bow down to you all, you know, in true South Asian style. You really have my pranams, you know. So much love to all of you. And, you know, may God continue to bless you all. That's kind of really my wish. But also I also wanted to add that in the last 2 weeks, you know, I've had just donations that I didn't even expect to get. So thank you so much for those. And on the flip side, I've also had like just a very small minority of people kind of expecting and almost demanding my time or outright wasting it. You know, since I've kind of started doing the sessions, especially. So to cut a long story short, I can either kind of bitch and moan about them, or I could kind of make my boundaries a little bit clearer. And guess what? I'm going to do the latter. So this is just a really, I'm not saying it to make anyone wrong. I'm meaning it to be respectful and just a really polite request. You know, please don't ask if I do discounts. Because the answer is no. I don't see you guys as charity cases. I've said this before. And if you're a true twin flame or a true spiritual aspirant, you're not here to be the one who's doing that. You're here to be you're here for other things, basically. So you're here to be bigger than that. So please don't devalue the readings or my time. I do free general readings, and you can get what you want. You can get a lot from them and appreciate them. Like those amazing and empowered people who do actually kind of get it and donate and all the like and subscribe and share and all the rest of it. I really, really do appreciate your support. And it's also my wish that the more people kind of put into it and see the value in these readings, the more they'll get out. So it's all about karma. It's all about energy exchange. So, you know, I put a lot into them, and there are certain people that want me to put more and more and more. And they're quite happy to sit there and take. That's an imbalance. I can help you with that in a session or a reading, but you've got to pay for it because it's all about balance. So I hope that makes it a little bit clearer for you. You know, and on the flip side of that is some people, the ones that I'm referring to that maybe need the sessions, they perhaps, you know, ask yourselves if they're coming from a place of lack, and is that why they demand more of me and other readers, because I know I'm not the only one. Second thing is, just because I'm doing the sessions on a donation only basis, please don't think, you know, for one, that you can't pay, or two, you can waste my time in a session, or three, that I'm doing it just because I want to talk to more twins or meet more twins or whatever. That's not the case at all. The sessions are amazing. I know people need them right now, and that's why I'm doing them. I'm not going to always do them either, but I'll come to that in a moment. Again, please don't devalue them. You'll get less out of it, as well as me. And it's all about energy exchange and balance. It's also very much about karma, and I don't want people to be unnecessarily kind of indebted to me or whatever. Hence, if you do get a lot out, please do try and give back in some way, because that's just the way it should be. Just to make it extra clear, I don't do these free videos because, you know, I owe you or I want anything from you. But if you do want something from me, that's the energy exchange I'm talking about. So I know I'm repeating myself a little bit, but it's just, I'm just trying to make that a bit clear. But that said, you know, nearly everyone, like the vast majority, I'm just so thankful that you're here, and you guys are the blessing. So I'm really happy if I can kind of reflect that back to you, because like just so many just wonderful people, and it really is a privilege to have you here. So thank you for that from the bottom of my heart, and so much love to you all. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you, just this one last thing, is I'll be doing readings until the end of November, and maybe until mid-December, and then I'll stop for a while, because finally I'm actually moving. So you guys that have been following me for a while will know that I've been thinking about moving, and that's finally happening. So from the new year, from January till at least mid-February, I won't be doing any personal reads. I will still be doing the general reads, but they might be a little bit less frequent. But that's just a bit of a heads up for the future. But I've also quit my current job, because if anybody is thinking about doing a session or a reading or anything right now, please just make use of the opportunity while it's presented to you, because from right now until kind of December, also January and February, actually for many people, they're very, very, very important times. There are going to be big waves of unions for people that are into that, and also just in terms of your own spiritual development, it's really, really supported right now. So, and this is really a time of coming full circle and of essentially leveling up. And I like the analogy of coming full circle, because if you can imagine a line, just a straight line, and you take both ends of the line and join them together, it kind of becomes a circle. But they're two ends of the spectrum. And if you get that, you'll understand why for so many people you're so close to union, and you feel, or whatever it is that you want. It could be a breakthrough with your job, it could be a breakthrough with your relationship, it could be a breakthrough with your own personal development in some other way, and you feel like you're really, really close to that breakthrough, but then at the same time something will happen and it will seem like it's a million miles away. That's not the case, and something very similar happened with me with my job. And that's what made me realise that it's true for a lot of other people, because, you know, if it's true for you in one section, it's mirrored in other parts of your life. So I can really, really help you with that in sessions and stuff like that. So I can help you get through those challenges if they've come up unexpectedly. So I just wanted to put that out there, and that's why I'm going to be a little bit more available from now until mid-December. So that is that. If you're interested in a session or anything, just drop me an email. And it's all about kind of not playing small, essentially. So I can help you guys kind of break out of that. Yeah. I think that is it. Let's get on with the reading. Right, so let's start. Thank you so much for listening as well, because I did this, it's almost been 10 minutes. But right, on with the reading. On this side, we have got the Divine Masculine. Please remember that these two polarities do exist in us as single beings as well. It's just whether you're more Divine Masculine or Divine Feminine, it depends. You tend to express more of one of these energies, and one of them will be more the shadow side. So if you wanted to come into balance, how you use these readings is you use them to, if you're more Divine Feminine, say, use the masculine reading to apply it to yourself and see how it can be applied in the shadow self of you. And then when you start to do that, you will see transformations across the board. Okay, so I hope that, and that makes it's also true if you're more Divine Masculine as well. So I hope that that makes sense to you. And as always, if you get a different message from the cards to what I'm saying, that message is for you. So pay attention to your own intuition. That's the most important thing. So I had to say that before I carry on. Right, so where has the divine masculine been in the recent past? We've got this card here, which is flow, and it's kind of like the Wheel of Fortune. So basically the divine masculine did get into a new level of alignment, and that level's kind of, they have leveled up whatever it was that they were doing or hoping to achieve, whether they knew what that thing was or not. It could also be a lot of, this is also, I'm also getting, this is a lot to do with astrological revolutions, the revolutions of the planets and how they are affecting people right now, people's destinies and people's lives, essentially. So, and also karma. So all of these three things, and they're all interlinked. Essentially, they're kind of like the same thing anyway. But what it means is that a certain phase is over, a certain new journey is beginning, and also the actions that were done in that particular phase of time. It could have been in the distant past, it could have been in the recent past, but certain things are finished, and the results are going to have to be enjoyed right now. So a lot of karma is also coming into fruition. And if that is something that's new to you, I recommend you go onto my blog. The link is below in the description, and read my blog post about karma. It's very, very interesting. So many things have happened, whether they are astrological, whether they are to do with ancient karma, recent karma that has finished. The results of those things are going to be happening right now. So if you have done good things are going to be happening. If you've done not so great things, you might have to deal with the consequences of those. I am getting, overwhelmingly though, right now is a very important time for all the work that the divine masculine has done in the past. All the hard work is going to be paying off. So that's what is going to be happening, and it's always going to be a good thing, because ultimately, even if it doesn't feel like a good thing, because it's going to be a balancing, it's going to be a time of learning, it's going to be a time of developing, and it's going to be a time of clarity for many people. It's going to bring a lot of clarity, and it's going to bring a lot of growth. And many people are really, really going to kind of find out a lot about themselves, where they want to go in life. Things are going to become consolidated. So that's really, really nice. And I'm being drawn to the fact that this apple right there in the center of this person's heart is like a real treasure. And that's kind of the crowning, the fact that the crown of this tree is in the heart area, the higher heart area. That's, it's very much to do with, there's going to be an increase in love and the knowledge that comes from the heart center as well in many of these people's lives. So that's wonderful. And that apple really does symbolize knowledge as well, and the knowledge of almost energy, almost like Kundalini energy, kind of, because that has a knowledge of itself on its own as well. So where is the divine masculine going to be? We've got so many chakra cards in this reading, and we've got the heart chakra. So again, it's kind of mirrored. It's mirrored in where they're going to go. I'm getting so many readings from this reading, actually, so many messages. So I hope I'm making sense, and I hope I'm not waffling too much, but please do bear with me, because it's a really important reading, and it is general. So I have asked that everyone who's watching this gets at least, you know, 1 or 2 messages that are really relevant to them. But there are people now that follow my channel who are on very, very different stages of the journey. So it's so important that you only take what really resonates with you, you know, what really kind of makes you go, oh yeah, you know, that's kind of true for me. You'll feel it almost like a jolt within. So when you feel that, you know that that's the message for you. And if not, that's fine. Move along, sort of thing. So where is the divine masculine going to go? Heart chakra. I see a real, there's a lot of stuff happening around this area. There's clearings, there's a lot of the knowledge that is already stored there is going to be made available to them, and they're also going to be able to use it a lot more. They're going to feel confident in opening their heart. They're going to really find a lot of joy and a lot of enjoyment, because that is where, you know, the real kind of juice and fun part of being alive is kind of really from. So they're going to have a renewed sense of being alive. They're going to have a renewed sense of connection with other people and appreciation for other people and appreciation for the beauty of life. So many wonderful things. Basically, this is the rewards. These are the rewards. This is the apple in the center of this person's chest. This is the kind of the culmination of all the hard work and the good karma that that was done before. So beautiful energies there. What is the advice card for the divine masculine? We've got base chakra. So it's very important to essentially yeah, you know, remain grounded, as we always hear. And what does that even mean? It means stay functional, stay stable. Make sure that all the practical things that you need to take care of are being taken care of. Also get into a routine. If you haven't got one already, or if you're struggling, get into it and do what's good for your physical body. Take care of your physical body. If you're feeling tired, take the rest. If you feel like you need to exercise, or you want to, if there is a physical goal that you want to achieve in the near future, now is the time to really go for that. It's actually very important. You will need your physical strength. You will need your your physical body is what supports everything. So if you have some kind of problem with your physical body, you can't worry about the rest of the stuff. You can't worry about, you know, your emotional. It's going to affect your emotions. It's going to affect your mind. It's going to affect your spiritual advancement as well. So if there's any niggling problems there, look after them. Interestingly, what we've got in how they, you know, the almost like the advice, how they feel towards the relationship, the union energies. We've got detach. What does this mean? Detach to all of the old ideas, the old thoughts that you had about it, because they've gone, and also especially detach from all the fears. So if you're feeling, and the fact that she's releasing this this dove bird thing like around her heart energy, it's just free your heart. That's what it is. It's honestly free your heart. And you've not got anything to worry about. The bird knows that it can fly. The bird knows how to fly. It's its instinct, which is beautifully, you know, ties in so well with all of the rest of the cards. Just like, you know, your heart does not need to be protected. You might think that your heart needs to be protected. It doesn't. It knows what to do. It's got its own intelligence. So let it do its thing. Don't restrict it. Really let it grow. And if you want to do something, look after your physical body. And the more you look after your physical body, the more you're going to be able to detach. You know, it's the 11 card. It's you know, 11 I always see as like an angel kind of number. It's a master number in Indian numerology as well. And the fact that the heart chakra here is a number 4. 4 is like the number of the base chakra actually. 4 is actually, it's a number of stability. So there's some really nice mirroring there. Let's go on to the divine feminine. Where was she? We have this rest and reconsider. This is symbolizing that there was a feeling of tiredness. Many people were feeling really exhausted because there was a lot of energetic work that was happening. So you might not have been aware of what was going on. Again, this is actually very, very mirrored, just like the flow card that was on the divine masculine side. Actually, it's interesting because when I drew the cards, I thought that this was going to be, it wasn't clear to me which was going to be divine masculine, divine feminine, and then I actually thought that was going to be divine feminine, and then when I started doing the reading, it was like, no, that's the divine masculine. So there's a lot of this kind of like as a whole reading applies to people in very many different ways, because, you know, these energies also can sometimes switch. We express different things at different times, so it's extra important that you look at it in a holistic way and really listen and see which applies to you more in a conscious way and more in a subconscious way. So that'll show you a lot about yourself and where you are right now as well. So divine feminines were feeling very tired, and many of them kind of weren't sure what to do next. They had to kind of like sit there. She's got her eyes closed. She or he's got, you know, their eyes closed and are looking within for the answers. What has happened? Where are they right now? So I got 2 cards. First up, the crown chakra, which actually came upside down, which just means that there's a lot of divine energy and a lot of grace descending right now. And underneath that was the trust card, and that is a 0. And can you see how she's just kind of almost abandoning herself into the towards the union? She's looking towards the union there. And the more that the divine feminine can do that, the more grace is going to come through and rain down on her, and the more receptive she will be to it. So it's the more faith you can have, the better, really. But to have faith, you also need a lot of strength. And, you know, this faith card is like the Fool in the traditional tarot, and that's, you know, a card of innocence. Who have the most innocence? Children. Also, who have the most energy? Children. Who have the most joy? Children. Who tend to, I don't know about you, but when I was younger, if I wanted to do something, it was so easy for me to just go out there and do it. And children have that ability to manifest so strongly. And the reason that they have that is because they also have a lot of faith. They trust people. And it's not because they're fools. They actually, it works in their favour a lot. So that's one of the many things that we can learn from them. If you need a helping hand on how to be more receptive and more trusting and have more faith and be more joyful, just like children and just like the Fool, go and hang out with some kids. Go and do something with them, and you'll get that. And really allow that grace to come through, because again, it has a lot of intelligence to it. I can't believe that essentially 5 out of 7 chakra cards in this deck came out in this reading. So what that tells me is that it's a very, very important time for energy work. You don't need to consciously do anything. It's happening anyway. The biggest thing you can do is just kind of go with it, relax, and allow it. So these different ones are being illumined. I've already mentioned the heart chakra, the base chakra, the crown chakra, the solar plexus and the sacral chakra are also in there as well. So so go with it. So we've got the bottom 3. We've got the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, the heart chakra. And the crown chakra. So we're just missing the throat chakra and the third eye. But that's fine. Where is the divine feminine on her way to going? We've got the Ace of Cups here. We've got Love Abounds. This is one of my favourite cards in the entire deck. I absolutely love it. Again, you can see the heart energy and the heart chakra in the masculine side mirrored on the feminine side here. And the story goes here with this reading, after all of this rest and reconsidering, the divine feminine, if you've done all your work, you're gonna end up at this place of being totally trusting and totally surrendered to the union. And this reading only applies to those of you who have done the work, quite frankly, because if you're at this stage, if divine masculine is awaiting for results and he's just about to enter a phase of joy that's obviously mirrored on the female side. So, you know, if this is what you want to see in your life, this is what you have to do. You have to surrender. You have to tap into the energies that are available. Essentially, in a reading like this, I just tell you about the energies that are available, and it's up to you to use them however you see fit. So know that that's how this works. That's how this works, and that's how readings with me work. That's what I do, and that's how people find them useful. So love abounds if you can surrender, if you can allow the grace to happen and just accept it no matter what it looks like, and if you can have that trust, this is what awaits. You're going to be overflowing with, you are going to be like the Ace of Cups in the traditional tarot in the Rider-Waite. You know, it's a cup that's literally overflowing. And it's like that whole her cup runneth over imagery, which I absolutely adore. And you don't have to do anything. It's just, if you allow it to happen, if you let the grace enter your life and touch you, it's going to happen. So what's the advice card? The advice card is reach out. What this means is not necessarily reach out to your divine masculine. If you want to do that, if you really feel a strong urge to do it with no expectations and not wanting anything in return, then do it, because that's well starred. But it's also very strongly for very many people, reach out to someone who you think can help you. It's a crucial time. Again, if anyone wants like a session, for now until mid-December, I am here. I'm only going to be doing sessions because of what happened with them being done on a donation only basis. I am going to only do them now in groups of 3, like not in groups of 3, but you have to get 3. So it's not going to be a one-off. I am going to need a bit more of a commitment from you if you want to do a session. And the minimum donation for each one that I recommend is $50 US for 45 minutes. And that's a recommendation. And if you're interested, definitely just drop me a message and we can have a pre-session chat. And that's when I will kind of let you know if I think we can work together or not, and also do a little kind of plan of action for you, and then we can take it from there. Anyway, I just had to get that out because that's what they wanted me to say. So reach out to whoever, and this can also be reach out to friends, reach out to family, reach out to just basically anyone who you trust, who you think will listen to you, or who you think has something that they can help you with. But remember, this is also very much, see how the hands are going both ways. It's an energy exchange. So please don't just go in there with your mentality of lack and then just take. So build up some awareness. People that tend to martyr themselves and feel like, oh, I'm always there for everyone, you know, but no one's ever there for me. Those are the ones that tend to have that issue. So be aware of it. If you feel like you have that as an issue in your life, again, have a session, but pay for the sessions, because, you know, we can work with that and other people are there to help you with that as well. So go to whoever you feel drawn to speak to about it. Where are we with regards to in terms of the divine feminine, with how they see the union? Interestingly enough, this is another advice card, and we've got refusing to see. And this is always it's interesting because this is like a reflection of the third eye. So it's strange because it's also the seat of ego, which a lot of people know, but the third eye is also where ego kind of resides, one of its main places to reside, and it's also a feminine chakra, which a lot of people also don't know. So if you're at that stage where you feel like you know it all, where you have a certain kind of rigidity in your thinking, you know, this guy is wearing a metal helmet on his head, that's what's kind of stopping the light getting through. That's also, it's very restrictive on his head as well, and it's also restricting his vision, because you can see his eyes are kind of like shaded, they're in the dark, and you know, his peripheral vision is also affected, and he's looking down. So many people what I'm getting from the story here that these cards are telling me, many people right now are not able to surrender and they're not able to let that grace descend on them because they are refusing to see. So this is more where a lot of people are, and they're saying those are the people that need to reach out to people that can help them, that they feel can help them, and they will get help in taking that helmet off, so then they can surrender to whatever it is that they're gonna, or get closer to it, you know, because it might that thing might be stuck on, you know, this guy's head might have grown into it might have been on for that long. So don't expect it to happen overnight. It can do, because it only takes a second to take the helmet off, but at the same time a lot of effort might need to go into that process before it can actually happen. So that's the advice for the divine feminine, and that's where they are right now. The advice is definitely take a really honest, good look at the union as well, and then surrender to it. Really, really believe in it. Have that faith, or whatever, you know. If even that also applies to if there's a move that you're thinking of embarking upon, moving house, jobs, like I mentioned before, any kind of big issue that's affecting your life at a core level, it applies to that as well. So what have we got in terms of the union energies? We've got where it was dedicated effort. This actually is referring to the guide teams. This is actually referring to all the other kind of beings that are helping you and your unions and your lives in general. They've been working extremely hard. So have you, but they've been helping you to work hard, if that makes sense. And that, again, that is why people have been feeling tired. That is why people have been leveling up, and certain stages have been completed in life, and it's ready, you know, people are ready to move forward. And we've all come full circle because of the hard work, not just of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, of the collective as well, but also all the guide teams, all the devas and the angels and everyone else, the divine, the universe, if you believe in all of that. So thank you to all of them. Thank you to all of you for being on the journey as well. Gratitude. Where is the relationship? Where is the union right now? The central kind of the present energy. We've got the solar plexus. The solar plexus energy, I love the fact that this came up in the middle, because the solar plexus is you know, the place where all of the nadis, which are the subtle energy channels in the body in yogic philosophy, they all meet. So it's also sometimes called the hara, and people meditate there to really, really center themselves. So it's almost like an axis, a nerve center that connects everything. So what you do right now, your thoughts, your energies, your state of being, your state of mind, your emotions, it's going to have a ripple out effect on you, your other half, your community, the space around you, everything. So be very, very conscious of it. And that moves us on seamlessly to the near future, which we've got here is believe and succeed. Believe comes first, because you have to believe, you have to see before you can do anything. You need the faith. Ties into faith again. You need the faith that you are going to be able to do something for you to even try to do it, you know. So that in a nutshell, I don't even need to say more about that. I'll keep it short and sweet, and you can meditate on that. So important stuff. And in terms of an underlying energy, we've got the sacral chakra. So what this means is it's a very, very sexual energy. It's a very creative energy. And it's a very magnetic energy as well. It's very much to do with life. It's very much to do with desire. But it's also, orange is also the colour of the renunciate. In India, saffron robes, like orange robes, is what a lot of people who we call sadhus, who are actually people kind of like wandering monks and mendicants. It's what they wear, and it's the fire of vairagya, which means dispassion, and it just means that it's the burning away of fears, it's the burning away of like attachments to things, so that they just kind of become these epitomes of pure being. It's absolutely amazing. They have so much energy and power around them, and so much freedom. It's also the ultimate freedom. So what I'm getting here is there's two things. On the one hand, you've got the magnetism, you've got that fire of desire and of dreams and of creativity, and at the same time you've got this fire that's burning away everything that isn't relevant anymore, that isn't needed, all of the unnecessary things. So it's creative and it's also destructive at the same time. It's almost like you know how sometimes they kind of slow burn fields in certain parts of the world so that they can plant crops again. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. So really, 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 it's a wonderful energy. It's a wonderful and a very versatile energy that's really permeating the reading this week. And it's also a very wonderful energy that's kind of, if you can see that there's, on the one hand it's creative, on the one hand it's destructive. This reading, both the sides of the polarity are very, very much mirrored as well. So there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of fluidity. There's a lot of movement. It can cause a lot of confusion for a lot of people as well. So if you need some clarity to navigate the waters, then reach out to someone who you trust and who you resonate with to help you out through it. Like I said, I am going to be available for sessions and for readings from now until mid-December. After that, I will not be available until probably mid-February. So we'll see how it goes, but this is just a heads up. If you are interested in a reading or a session, do it now. I really hope that you've enjoyed the reading here. Thank you for listening to my messages at the beginning. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for hanging out with me until the end. I will be back soon. Lots of love. Bye.